Hello, friends. Oh, let's fix this camera. Hold on. How's it going? All right. Probably gonna be a pretty quiet stream. I gotta do a better job. Oh, really? Okay, hold on. Let's see. Test, test, test. All right, it's going okay on my end. Let's see. Let me see what's going on here. Nope. I got audio on my end on the YouTube video. Let's try. Yep. Yep. If I pull up the YouTube video, um, it's going okay. Can anybody else in the chat? Okay, cool. I'm good now. Awesome. Thank you. All right, what's up, guys? How's it going? Probably going to be a pretty light live stream today. A couple things to talk about. Nothing too crazy. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys are surviving the third test of the all-time lows for Pulse Chain. Yeah, interesting, right? Couple things to talk about. I went to PulseCon, the Pulse 369 conference. That was a lot of fun. But before I get into that, let's say hi to the people in the chat. Of course, we have Fast Abdul. Good to see you, buddy. It was nice to meet you in Vegas. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're back on the 51st state of the United States. I hope you are enjoying your soon-to-be newfound freedom over there in Canada. Red Squirrel, always in the chat. Good to see you, man. And J Dub, remember when 1 billion Hedron was a lot? Miss the good old days. Yeah, I do too. And you're right. Laid back Hex 33. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. About four. Yeah, it was like 3 to 4 grand for a billion Hedron back in the day. That was pretty crazy. Hopefully we get V2 relatively soon. But who knows? Until then, not much to say. But I'm looking forward to that day. That's right, Red Squirrel. If you don't look at your portfolio and you don't look at the charts, you could be a millionaire. You might not be, but if you don't look, it could be either or, right? But yeah, so Pulse 369, the conference, that was a lot of fun. It's always a good time to meet people in the community, meet the other content creators, or I guess we're called KOLs now. I guess that's the new term for what we're called. So meet all the other KOLs in the community. I got to do a panel with Charlie, Miguel, and Axis, and that was a lot of fun. They posted the and let me see if I can pull it up as I'm talking. They posted the recording for day one. I want to clip out the part that I was on and put it on my channel. It was a lot of fun. I'll see if I can find it. If somebody can find it for me, I don't want to be searching too much while I'm live talking to you guys. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Got to meet a lot of really cool people for the first time. See people again that I saw last year. Definitely gonna make it every year from here on out for as long as we have the conference. I just had a lot of fun, and at the end they said that they're gonna do it for sure in Vegas again next year. So it sounds like that's already the process for getting everything booked has already started. So I'm gonna be there again, and if you want to meet me in person for some reason, you can do that in a year. March 6th through 9th. So it's a 369 because March is the third month of the year. All right. So yeah, let me think if there's anything else. I was on Dollar Cost Crypto stream, Miguel's stream. He did a big stream after the conference ended. I had to leave early because I had my flight that night. But next time I'm going to stay probably an extra day so I can do all the fun activities and not have to dip out early. So that was a lot of fun. Always love hanging out with Miguel and Charlie and going on stream with him when I can. For those of you guys who don't know, my crypto journey started with a crypto mindset course, so it was a nice accomplishment to share the stage with them. As someone who apparently knows what they're talking about, and how many people we got in the chat, all 10 of you here, I think one of them was me, all 9 of you here, also think I have something interesting to say, which I appreciate that. But yeah, so Pulse chain prices not doing so hot. If I look at the chart right now, I think there was a small bounce earlier this morning, but honestly, probably got sold down already. Yeah, we're minus 6% on the daily right now. Charts are loading up. Yeah, nothing crazy, just a slow bleed down, unfortunately. But hey, that's why the stream is called "Prices Down, Spirits Up," right? yeah, this is nothing that we're not used to here on Pulse Chain. And if you wanted to get some cheap coins at the cheapest they've ever been, basically, you got another chance now. But if you don't, and you're like, I've bought enough, just write it out. That's what I'm doing. I'll probably allocate a little bit more, but I'm just gonna write it out and keep making content for you guys. Um, hey, thanks. I hope you enjoyed it, or sounds like you enjoyed it, which I appreciate. Um, let's see. If you guys have any questions on things you want to have covered, let me know. One piece of news: the SEC did file a request to extend the timeline for making appealing the decision. So the case was dismissed, and Richard won the case basically on the argument of jurisdiction. Which, if you guys follow Nuclear Herbs, which let me give you guys the link to this tweet so you can follow him. Great Twitter account to follow for all things about the case. Some people were saying like, oh, it got thrown out on a technicality, and Nuclear Herbs had a really good post on how somebody not being able to show that they have jurisdiction isn't a technicality. It's actually a very central tenet or principle of the legal system, right? Like, it's like everything hinges on that. Because if you don't have jurisdiction, you don't have the authority to even make a claim in the first place. So, having the case dismissed was a huge win for Richard and our community, and it's a big distinction from the other cases which the SEC just dropped. So most of the other cases, the SEC is dropping the case, versus in Richard's, the case was dismissed, which is a huge distinction between the other cases. So it's like, we won on merit, basically, we won on merit, versus the other one, the SEC was just like, we're not going to pursue this line of, I don't know what the word is, not inquiry, but we're not going to pursue this line of prosecution. Maybe that's the better word. So he said he's going to talk about it later. Let me see if I can find the post where he talked a little bit about it. Okay, yeah. SEC and RH's team may have talked. I would imagine the conversation was something like this. This is funny. Yeah, SEC, we're still thinking about filing an amended complaint. Richard's team, LOL. What, you guys have to have you guys want to have your ass handed to you again? We think we can fix the 369 problems the judge pointed out in her ruling. Richard's team, Lamau. I broke a rib. I'll have to call you back. Cool. I'll put that down in our letter to the judge, as you guys want to talk about this later. Pretty funny. And even in the complaint itself, let me see. There's a little blurb here. So if you go on it, let's go back forward one. So if you read this small text right here, like, Richard Hart respectively opposes the SEC request for an extension of time due to amend the complaint in this action. The SEC cannot remedy the myriad long known deficiencies in its complaint. So long story short, if you read that little blurb, they're basically like, you had plenty of time to come up with a justified reason for why you have jurisdiction, more or less. And another, I think what did they ask? An additional 30 days. So I think the court gave them 20 days. They want an additional 30, so 50 total from the ruling a couple weeks ago. And Richard's lawyers were basically like, yeah, you had like over a year to do this. Another 30 days. Like, if you haven't done it in that time, another 30 days isn't going to help you. You don't get more time. No homework extension for you, SEC. The deadline is the deadline. So we'll see what the judge has to say. They posted this on Friday, which was the blood moon. Freaky stuff. Of course, it happens at the blood moon. I think the case got dismissed on a new moon or something like that, for those of you guys who like the astrology TA. But yeah, so I mean, it's not like this is pretty much a nothing burger, in my opinion. Pretty standard legal recourse, legal proceedings, in my opinion. And even Nuclear Herbs, it looks like, oh, well, this is much longer than I thought. But yeah, quit freaking out. Requests for extensions happen in almost every case at some point. Yeah, this is a nothing burger. I'm not really worried about it. In fact, I would have probably been surprised if they didn't request some kind of extension. It seems like a normal proceeding of events, in my opinion. But of course, I'm a dentist who larps as a sloth on the internet. I know nothing about legal matters at all, not even a little bit. I know much more about crypto and teeth. So I will always, and this is what I do, I just defer to Nuclear Herbs' opinion. So something will come out, and then I'll have my own little, uninformed opinion on it. And then I'll wait for him to kind of interpret it for me. Just because I don't know what I'm talking about. So I recommend his Twitter page, his X page, and his posts because he does a really good job. And I got to meet him, not meet him again. I got to see him again. I met him the year previously, but I got to see him again in Vegas. Great guy. Yeah, great guy, really friendly. If you ever get a chance to say hi to him, I'm sure he would appreciate it. I'm sure lawyers don't get the same kind of celebrity status that he has in our community all the time. There was a really good panel with him, Zenith, and then a lawyer and a government official for the state of Nevada. There was a panel for that on the second day, and when that recording comes out, I recommend you guys listen to it because it was really, really informative. Zenith did a great job. He was very informed on the case and legal matters. So I was very impressed by him. Obviously, the Nuclear Herbs knows what he's talking about because he's a professional. And then it was good to get some outside opinions from another lawyer as well as somebody who is crypto friendly in the state government. I guess I don't know if I think he's partly. I'm not sure which branch he's part of, and I forgot off the top of my head. But it was a really good, one of the better panels of the whole conference. So I recommend you guys check that out. Oh, hey, we got Willie B. Long. Good to see you, man. Hey, no problem. I hope you're doing well. Finvesta Eco. Hey, congratulations to the Finvesta people. I don't know what that is. Hey, Hex Monkeys. Good to see you in Vegas, buddy. Nothing Burger. Yep, pretty much. And we have the guy. I was gonna say the man, but he's just a guy. RH Max, the Manimal Uncensored. Max, I almost don't even want you watching my streams because I know like you're gonna just ask me questions about things I talk about. If I say anything interesting, and it's gonna be like, I know you were watching. I got to start charging you for my time. It's just too much. For those of you that Max pulled me aside to ask me questions about the actuator protocol when I had the founders on his channel. Come on, Max, do better. Oh man, but yeah, SEC stuff, nothing burger. But that's probably the biggest news, quote unquote, in the Pulse chain ecosystem right now. Another thing that I wanted to bring up was the Pampy.app to do a little bit of moon math because moon math and hopium is the drug that we need to survive, right? Yeah. Max can't make his own content. He needs other people he needs to bring other people on to get real valuable content, right? So am I. Yeah. Thanks, Max. You're the man. Okay. Okay. All right. You paid for my time. You can ask me questions now for that whole $1. You get 30 seconds. I hope you enjoy that 30 seconds. That's funny. Thanks for the $1. YouTube won't let me send 50 cents. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh man. Yeah. He's just a sloth. Go easy on him. You're right. I know. Max is really dipping into his pockets because his crypto bags aren't looking so good right now. Oh my god. All right. So I did want to do a little bit of moon math for you guys just because I like checking this every once in a while with the lower liquidity environment. And actually, let's go ahead and check that really quickly. And this will be a shout out to RH Max. I use his website all the time, gorealdefi.com. I always use this to get to the official websites because I guess Max can make good stuff his based on his IRL profession. So let's go to the exchange. Let's go to farm. See what the farms are looking like. 10% APR for DAI. That's been on point. Any changes? Nope. The weightings still look the same the last time I checked. They shifted some of the weightings towards the stablecoin pools, which makes sense, but we got like 6.5, 10, 14, 16, 17, $17 million of backing liquidity, which means it's about $8 million of value backing the ecosystem just in the farms. I'm sure the V2 pools might have a little bit more potentially. But yeah, we're like super illiquid as a ecosystem as a whole. So, we talked about this previously. Let's see, DAI, there's 1.15 million of DAI here, 500K. Let's see what this is in. Hey, Joshua Wu. I have trouble saying your name. Let me give you everybody your Twitter because I like the stuff you post, man. Hold on. There we go. Go give Josh Wu a follow, my friends. He's a funny guy. Has some good content. Always livens the day up when I get to see his funny stuff. Here, I'll show you guys. Hold on. Look at that. What is this? He's like, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about that. Yeah. This is a fun channel X channel to follow. So go give him a follow. All right. Dongs. I don't know what you're talking about, Max. Hey, Asian Trade, good to see you, man. I missed you in Vegas. I hope you're doing well. I know you're busy, grinding away. You got your business and everything, but I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you too. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. All right. There it is. Okay. There's the 10,000 dong, which if I do a conversion, let's see, down to USD. I think it's a Vietnamese dong. So if we do 10,000, that's 39 cents. Whew. Guys, I made some money on this stream. Look at me go. $1.39. Can't wait to buy the dip with that. Oh my god. You guys crack me up. Yeah, 30. Holy crap. Okay, so yeah, super illiquid environment. Yeah, most of that liquidity and DAI is with Pulse. So yeah, I think about $8-9 million backing the entire ecosystem in quote unquote value backing tokens. So obviously part of the reason why we got a lot of this dip is because of the low liquidity environment. So when it was happening, everybody was excited about it. I was excited about it too. But one thing I always qualified my excitement with is like, hey, like this works to the downside too. So sell pressure now is much heavier on the price chart than it was previously, because if you guys watch my liquidity providing series, like the X times Y equals K formula, how it dictates price. The price is a function of the ratio of the assets and the liquidity pools. And so sells now have a bigger impact on the liquidity as a whole. But this also works to the upside. So I like using Hex because it has the lowest liquidity of all of the assets here. So Hex on Pulse has 4 million. Obviously, Pulse has all of this, whatever, 20 million we talked about. But PulseX has 10 million, 11 million with Pulse. And it has a bunch with Ink. And Ink has some with PulseX and with Pulse. So of the core assets, Hex has the lowest liquidity of all of them, which means it's the one that can pump the most, assuming buy pressure, and that's important. Like we're assuming that there's net buy pressure. And so the Pampy.app calculator here basically says if we have this amount of buy pressure and no sell pressure, or another way I like the better way I like to say it is net buy pressure. So if we get, I'm going to put 10 million in here. So if we get $10 million of net buy pressure, so we get $30 million of buys with $20 million of sells. And this is pretty much value extracting sells, not just like from Pulse to Ink, Pulse to Hex. Well, actually, no, Pulse to Hex would work, but Pulse to if like not Hex to any altcoins, but like Hex into Pulse, basically. If people started to sell in that direction. So if we got $10 million of net buy pressure, we'd be at 23 cents. Which really isn't that much. Probably a little blasphemous to bring this up. Richard is now one of us, being minus almost 50% on his Ethereum buys, which it's crazy to me that Ethereum is this low right now. I I want to scoop some up myself under $2,000. It feels like a steal. Like, it feels like, why? I think I was watching a Somi video and he was like, ETH was cheap at 4,000 and now it's like $1,700 when he posted the video. So like, if ETH was cheap at 4,000, like now it's just like, it's like bargain bin prices, fire sale, that kind of stuff. So I mean, if there's a time to add more to your ETH bag, like now's the time to do it. And it's always good to have some Ethereum in your portfolio. It balances things out. So, the wallet has 331 million. So if we just make the assumption that this wallet starts buying Hex, for example, if we put in 30 million and then that was met with $20 million of sell pressure, then the Hex price would be 23 cents. And then all the cores get a 4x right on top of it. So like, the money is there in a wallet that theoretically has the interests of the chain in mind, where it has a vested reason on why I would want the prices to go up. But of course, we don't know if it's going to do that. And actually, I probably wouldn't assume that it does. I just like keeping that in the back of my mind, because a lot of the times a question that is asked is like, oh, where's the buy pressure going to come from? Where's the money going to come from? And so with like that, it's just with this wallet, it's like, okay, well, I can see on chain that there's a wallet that has bought these assets in the past and theoretically has a vested interest in things doing well. And so like, technically there is money there to be able to reach these prices, but we never know if it's going to actually happen. And I wouldn't expect it to happen. Or let me say this a different way. If your investment thesis is solely based on the fact of the SAC wallet buying up Pulse Chain core assets, if that's your core investment thesis, then I would tamper your allocations based on the probability that you think that that's going to happen. So if that's like what the trade that you're going to make, or if that's the thing that you are betting on when purchasing this assets, first, obviously it's a very easy signal to when to sell, because the wallet will be buying. But also, don't like count on the fact, because there's no guarantee, and the probability might actually be really low. We may never see that wallet be active ever again. So part of me, I always have some conflict. I'm always partially conflicted when it comes to bringing it up, because it's like, we really shouldn't expect that for the reason that price pumps. Obviously, the more ideal scenario would be an organic $10 million coming in from whoever, like new participants, basically. But, we don't know who they are, when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen. We have no like actual data on it. So it's at least nice to know. It's like, okay, like this is something that could happen, and I can see money on chain that I can assign some kind of non-zero probability that it would happen. If you want to get real crazy, ladies and gentlemen, say we were 50, right? We're at like $4. So like, what would it take for us to get to all-time highs? Let's do all-time highs. Let's do 25. Yeah, 25 million net buy pressure gets us to $1. Let's do 15. Yeah, 15 million basically gets us to all-time highs for 16. Yeah, $16 million in net buy pressure, and we're at all-time highs for X. So really, what this tells me, when I'm looking at this data that I'm presenting to you now, this tells me that things can flip fast like that. Like really, really fast. So I think if / when, and I'm positioned for when Pulse Chain starts to move for real, like have a real big impulse up, it's going to be fast and violent. It's not going to be like a slow, steady grind up. And so that's important to know when it comes to capital allocation, because you're not going to get a warning signal. It's not going to be this nice technical pattern that, we had a falling wedge that broke out, retested the highs, retested the resistance line, and then now we're going to start grinding up. It's going to be basically violent green candles straight up. If real capital starts to get injected into the ecosystem, and specifically is buying Hex. And what's nice about this is that everything gets a 7x ride on top of it, which would be like, if we got a 7x from here, I think everyone would be running around without their pants on, probably not their underwear too. So yeah, if Hex did a 63x and then everything else did a 7x, which probably wouldn't work out that way exactly, but you know what I'm saying. Everybody would be pretty euphoric in that scenario, and I think if it happens like fast, like fast, like the candles the candles are big and violent, and then probably there will be pretty big sell-offs for people who want to exit now that they've gotten their exit liquidity, and then it'll just be like bullish engulfing candles after bullish engulfing candles, because like I'm not the wallet. I'm not the wallet. I don't know what they're thinking of or if anybody wants to pump the ecosystem. But if it was me, and I was talking hypothetically, I would want as I'm pumping the price up, I would want to watch for wallets to flush themselves out so I can flush them out at cheaper prices versus more expensive prices. So it's like you pump it up to a certain level and then you wait, see who sells, let them flush themselves out as much as possible, scoop up their supply, and then move on. And then keep moving to whatever level that you wanted to get it to in the first place. Optimal timeline. Instant gratification. Yeah, why not? I like me some instant gratification, right? We're all about delayed gratification here. But hey, if you delay it for too long, you never actually get it, right? You have to have instant gratification at some point because without it, you can never actually get delayed gratification because it assumes that you're going to get it at some point. And you can only ever get gratification in the present. Somebody will probably click that. But yeah, I think that's a good thing to talk about just to keep in the back of your mind during these very depressed prices. And it's been tough. It's been a tough road for Pulse Chain. We definitely are nowhere near where we expected to be, almost 3 years into the launch of the ecosystem. I remember waiting a long time for Pulse to launch. And then now it's been like 4 years or so since like the sacrifices, and we're not where we're expected to be, and that's okay. This crypto's risky, man. Like there's really no other way to say it. So I think times like these, it's a really good time to reevaluate why you invested into it in the first place and reflect on if you still believe that's true or if you have new reasons to continue to keep your capital there or add more to your position as well. And then in that process of introspection, you might gain a newfound confidence in the ecosystem, or you might decide, yeah, this isn't the place for me. What I thought was going to happen didn't work out, and unfortunately, that means now you have to sell the bottom, which is not an ideal scenario at all. You lost some capital, lost some value in the prices, and then you're selling at a loss to move somewhere else. But if you don't believe that it's ever going to go up, then why would you keep your capital there, right? Like you shouldn't hold a position in the red just because it's in the red. Like you do have to have some kind of belief that it's going to recover in the future. And there was one thing I heard actually from Dave Ramsey, funny enough, of all people to talk about in the midst of a channel about crypto investing. There's one thing that he said that was like, yeah, that's actually pretty true. It's like, if you have something that's in like let's say you bought Bitcoin at a low, let's say you bought it at $1,000, and now it's the price it is now. So you did 100x when it was at 100K, and you put in 10 grand, and it did 100x. So what is that? $10 million, right? And so it's at a $10 million portfolio, and then, but it's not the way you think about it. Isn't, oh, I only have a $10,000 investment. Every day you hold that position, it's as if you are actively investing $10 million into the thing that you already own. So this is a good, what I was just saying works in the reverse too. When prices are up, you have to ask yourself, would I put this amount of capital, if I didn't have a position at all, would I put this amount of capital into this thing right now if I didn't have any of these tokens at all? And that's another good heuristic to decide whether or not you should take profits. Because if you're like, let's say you have a position go from like $500 to $5,000, you get 10x. And then you have that 10x and you're like, oh man, I think this has some legs to it. I want to keep holding. And then, but in the back of your mind, you have to ask yourself, would I put $5,000 into this now? And then you might have to ask yourself, what would I put into this now? And that might give you an idea of how much profit you should be taking based on this one heuristic. So I hope that was somewhat helpful. I like fruits. I bought more of the dip. Way to go. Hopefully you didn't dip into your fruit budget too much. Hey, Toby Wan. Good to see you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're still doing your TA posts. Glad that you caught me live too. Honest question: do you accept? I do not accept crypto for dental work. One, I don't own my own practice, so I can't make those decisions. But two, even if I did, at least right now, I probably would not accept crypto for dental work. It's just like an unnecessary step in the middle to maybe one day if crypto was held more widely, or if I had like clientele who like had a lot of crypto, maybe like you guys. And it was just easier for them to pay me in that way. But when you think about like all the overhead that comes with dental offices, rent, staff, stuff that you need to do the procedures, so supplies, taxes, payroll, all of that stuff is paid out in cash. So I'd have to take the crypto, convert it to cash, and then put it in the bank account. And it's just unnecessary steps in the business process for really not much return. The only return would be like more a more streamlined money processing system, or a higher velocity of money. So like it's just easier for people to spend their crypto than it is to put it into cash. But because I would have to do that work on the back end, I would basically be like, just sell the crypto yourself, get it into cash, and then pay me. So like you do that yourself, and then like maybe like if I have like a surplus of cash for some reason in this hypothetical scenario in an office I own in the future, maybe I have like a crypto portfolio for the business, and that would actually be pretty cool because I could invest in the lows and then use a lot of lending protocols or leverage basically to do things while keeping the crypto in the background. That's something theoretically I could do, depending on how stable the business side of the office is as a whole, because I wouldn't want to be putting capital in a high risk investment when I need that capital for XYZ. But it could be a way for like the business to have its own little crypto portfolio, and then I can do fund that, turn that into an income stream for the office with like liquidity providing, degenning with my dental business. That would be something, wouldn't it? I will do dental work for crypto, but just tooth removal. They'll just kick you in the mouth and you pay you in crypto. All right. Any other questions, guys? This is my weekly, not weekly, but bi-weekly stream where I do whatchamacallit? I do I talk, I guess. That's what I do here. But also afterwards I go on school and I have a little Zoom call if anybody wanted to ask me questions personally. So if you wanted to do that, this is the school link. It's free to join, and if you want to talk to me more personally, I'll probably be on for a good what's it starting in about 8 minutes? Yeah, at 3 o'clock EST. So I'll probably be on for like 20-30 minutes. Not too long today. Nothing too crazy. If there aren't a lot of questions, I don't keep it going for that long, just because I talk about most of the things on the stream anyways. So yeah, if you want to come join me over there, ask me a question in a more personal environment, I'm going to do that right after the call in about 8 minutes. Hey, Neil Fatishers, I hope you're doing well, man. It's good to see you too. Yeah, hope you and your family has been well. All right. Anything else that I want to talk about today? Like I said, very light, very casual stream. Nothing crazy. Nothing groundbreaking. The SEC case stuff was probably the biggest news, but really, we're kind of in the same position that we've always been in. Waiting for prices to go up. Waiting to get rich, baby. All right. I'll stay on for a little bit more, see if anybody has another question or actually, now that I think Fast Abdul is here, Ink Printer is launching, I believe, on Tuesday. So watch out for that. There will be some really good liquidity providing opportunities to make yield. They have their own token that may or may not do well. Who knows? But it's a new token, so there's always the possibility that it does well. So opportunity is presenting itself on Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that. Get positioned to be ready to participate if you want to. And then we're going to have a liquidity fork for all of the core tokens now. Liquid loans, Power City with Flex, and what's the one called for PulseX again? Earn. Yeah, Earn with the PulseX liquidity fork, and then now Ink. So all of the cores will have their own liquidity fork for you guys to take out 0% interest collateralized loans in a stable coin that is redeemable for $1 of Ink. So yeah, we got new people in the chat. Hexologist Heart, what's up, y'all? What's up, buddy? It's a nice picture. I like it. Yeah. Brown, Farmer J, what's up, Farmer J? Never heard of her. Yeah, I've never heard of her. Earn, never heard of her. I haven't heard of her either. All right, guys. Last chance for any topics. If not, I'm going to close it out. I appreciate all of you guys coming live. Hopefully, I'll be doing some more streams soon. I do this one every other week, assuming I'm in town. But maybe I'll just start doing some more impromptu ones. I like talking to you guys. It's always fun to turn on the camera in my room and then people show up to listen to me talk on the internet. Let me think if there's anything else important. If you want to learn more about liquidity providing, go on my YouTube channel, which you're on now. I got my series over there in the playlists. Go join the school community. If you want to ask me questions, like that's a really great place to do it because it's like a little forum, a little social media platform where you can make a post and then I can respond to it. So check that out. Just join it. It's free. And then you'll get updates on things that I do there. And eventually I'll post a course on there as well. I record the all the previous calls. So if you want to look at those, you can look at those too. And for now, everything's free. The group will probably always be free, but I might charge a little bit of money for the recordings of the course one day, but we're not there yet. So get in while you can, while the opportunity is in front of you, and you don't have to pay anything. All right, my friends, looks like there are no questions, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed my ramblings. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will obviously be around in the school community, on Twitter, on YouTube, all the places. So with that, my friends, peace out.